everyone, welcome back to another one of these videos. You see, these guys are not here anymore. Yeah, as I'm doing the transition to moving this over. So, anyway, welcome back to more Atla. So, we're doing book 2. Actually, I have watched all of book 2 in less than 24 hours after the, the book 1 video. So, yeah, this series is good, okay? I mean, I know the series is good. I watched it when it was still new. So, anyway, as with usual, we're doing my favorite episode, least favorite episode, favorite character, least favorite character, and my favorite, least favorite moments of Book 2 Earth of the Avatar: The Last Airbender. Honestly, okay, I'm going to say this right now. I think it's really difficult to find a bad episode. Because the thing is, with ponies, it's kind of easy because of the nature of the show. Makes it easy to find at least something you probably won't like. But this is Atla. It's really, really hard to find something you're not gonna like. So let's just get right down to it with my favorite episode. Now, again, I have to talk about this episode now because this episode specifically is very important on how I would deal with favorite or least favorite episodes. So, what I generally consider least favorite episode is if it's kind of pointless, or it just gives a lot of bad moments, or you just don't want to talk about it, or just like really bad filler. That being said, most people would think that episode 15, The Tales of Ba Sing Se, which is an actually very filler episode, all things considered, would be my least favorite episode. You're flip mothering wrong, okay? You're wrong. The thing about that episode is special. Very special. I can't put this in my least favorite episode. That being said, I can't put it as my favorite episode either, because most of the episode is true filler. Even the best part of the episode is like true filler, but I can't put it in my favorite episode or least favorite episode, despite having arguably the best part in the entire franchise, unarguably, full stop. I'll talk about that later. That being said, when I saw the title of this episode, I remember liking this episode. Episode 7, Zuko Alone. That is my favorite episode of the season. Oh my goodness, this episode, I remember, as I said, like, from the moment the title screen shows up, I remember everything. It's a very, very good one. It's literally probably the only episode up to this point, and even like a bit later, that, as the title states, Zuko by himself, no Aang plots. So Aang is not in here. None of the main group is in there. Iroh's not in there. It's just Zuko. It's his story. Tidus reference. Anyway, this is Zuko just being a total BA. So, I mean, what can I say? It's like Zuko trying to find himself essentially, but then even though, yeah, I guess you can say it's filler as well, if you really think about it, but it contains a lot of bit of insight to Zuko's head during the entire time, since like Zuko's a bit conflicted on who he is. And this episode kind of shows like why is he that conflicted? Since, I mean, he has like he's the prince, the so-called like the prince of the Fire Nation, the heir to the throne, but also he's not this crazy megalomaniacal evil villain. That's Azula. But he's trying to find who he really is, and you realize that even though he tells people who he is at the end, everybody hates him because of his title more than anything. He's Firebender, he's the Prince of the Fire Nation. Everybody hates him, even though 1 second before he said it, everybody like wanted to save him from those bullies who claim to be soldiers defending the little village in the Fire Nation. So, yeah. Um, it's a lot of insight into Zuko's head through his entire thing, and does help out with the rest of the series on what his mentality is for the rest of the series. I also do consider episode 9 Bitter Work pretty dang good, because it's the first episode which Aang actually starts earthbending, and like how the actual like how earthbending is like. So it's more, yeah, this guy you gotta stand like strong like a rock. You gotta stay there, and instead of just fleeing away like an earthbender, not like an airbender, then you have to stand your ground like an earthbender. Gives an insight of how earthbenders think when they do their bending. I'm pretty sure there are some instances where like waterbenders the same, and I'm pretty sure there will be an instance for firebending later. I know the episode, so I know it's coming, but yeah, with waterbender states that go flow into motion stuff. And also for earthbending gotta go stand still. I believe that's also the same episode where Iroh tells Yuko more or less like how the different nations work and how the different kinds of people work. I think it gives me a bit of not just like it's still sort of insight of how everybody works, not just how earthbenders. And so yeah, when Iroh tries to teach Zuko how to redirect lightning, he shows that this is a technique I learned for the waterbenders. So you gotta take wisdom from everybody, not necessarily from the ones you're familiar with. That's actually a good good advice. Good advice all along. My least favorite episode, really, really hard to decide. I actually had to decide this about a minute before actually recording this, even though it's been hours since I finished watching the season 2 or book 2. So I'll call it season 2. But then I realized again I can't put the Tales of Bossing Say this might be a filler episode. So what other like filler episodes could I really put on it? Like, what is this not important to the story that I could just, or what episode do I just hate in general despite being important to the story? And it's really hard to actually figure out. But why not? If I had to pick something, it'll probably be The Tale of Two Lovers, episode 2. Because what new things do we learn from it? Like how Omashu was made? Caves? Sure. Appa doesn't like caves. Understandable. Even more understandable if you watch later on. Like, Aang and Katara might be falling in love with each other, but you kind of figure that out early. Like, Aang having a crush on Katara is literally the first thing we see out of Aang. But the other way around, not so much. But do we need it though? Because like this particular topic is brought up sometime later, so I don't feel it's entirely necessary that we know about how Katara thinks of Aang. But it's kind of not that important, all things considered. So that's what the closest thing I had to a least favorite episode is. Okay, I'll leave it at that. My favorite character, as I've said this before, I'm not including the main characters because that's cheating. But if I have to, Toph is cool, Azula's cool, even though she's a huge crazy villain. I actually like Azula. But god dang Kyoshi. God dang, she's so cool. Like the moment she shows up in episode 5, she is so cool. Come on. I mean, I have a thing with tough girl. I like tough girls. But dang, Kyoshi's one tough girl. Even more so that, like, I'm starting to figure out, like, watching videos about, you know, the Kyoshi stories and how she became Avatar. Oh, that's so cool. Is Kyoshi my favorite Avatar? I don't know. I have not made that decision yet. Probably is my favorite Avatar. Then again, I think Korra looks cool too. I mean, she's a waifu, so. Don't think Kyoshi's a waifu? I don't know, I have not decided yet, maybe. But she is so cool. In episode 5, when Aang gets, the same episode actually, when Aang gets, like, in jail, this is the random jail guys. They give, you know, Aang positive advice. I feel like that could be a something for episode 2 in itself. But, I don't know. Cool guys. But for real, though, the boulder. The boulder, he's so cool, too. Look at that freaking, like, trying to act like the wrestler he is, trying to spout, like, nonsense and, you know, trying to act like someone that's super dang cool. Kind of like John Cena. Do with a rock. Freaking, I don't know. I mean, I guess you can call the boat like The Rock, because, you know, parallels. That's probably why I called the boulder, because of The Rock. It would be funny if actually, like, wasn't, like, intentional. My least favorite character, okay, let's just say this, I'm gonna have to say one of two characters, either Captain Vong for the first episode, trying to use the Avatar state despite everyone else telling him that's not a good idea, but trying to go for it anyway. And there's Long Fang of the Dai Li. Long Fang, I believe it's Long Fang. Very not cool little person. I mean, thing is, I think find Azula cool. Like, she's a really bad guy, but she's cool. But, like, for Long Fang, he's a villain, also not cool. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I really want to talk about man Ty Lee. Ty Lee's adorable. Sorry, I'm going off topic, but Ty Lee's adorable. Ty Lee's cute, and I really like May. I like May. I like Ty Lee. Azula's cool. I can't hate. I'm more love to hate more than hate to hate, or hate to love. But yeah, Ty Lee's cute. I can't club her with my least favorite at all. Anyway, favorite moments. Okay. I got a lot, so let's get the easy ones out of the way first. Cause I'm not gonna put an image of for how not important they are. Okay, so for episode 10, this is the part where you can do your own homework. Okay, go to YouTube and look for top blind jokes. That in itself is a favorite moment in it. That's a favorite moment in itself. So if you look at top blind jokes, this in himself is really funny. You could also say episode 12 where Toph, she was like drunk because she didn't know how to swim, and Suki came in with Sokka saying that he's gonna come and save her, and then Suki comes in, and then Toph thinks that Sokka that saved her, so he kisses him. And then when Suki said, no, it's me, and Toph said, oh, you can let me drown now. Very slight Toph and Sokka shipping. Very slight. Even like same episode, Pierce solidifies Sokka and Suki, but that's not, of course, technically that's not really confirmed if they're going to be, if they actually are a couple, because, you know, Korra nonsense, and they didn't really unknown. Then there's a very specific quote with episode 6, where two random guys, right, and then Katara comes, walks in and talk about the Earth Rumble 6. She goes to the guys go to Alley, and Katara follows them, and then stuff happens, and she comes back saying, "Oh, she got the tickets to Earth Rumble 6," and then I forgot who asked, like, how she get them, and then Katara says, "A girl has her ways." Then cut to the guys absolutely frozen, like a BA freaking Katara. And in that same episode, one of my favorite short things happening. I'm gonna have to zoom out myself a little bit more, where Katara sees the same guys, right? She walks away, how awesome like she is, and Sokka, the freaking Chad the freaking like Chad he is. He says, "What a try," and then walks away. I guess I'm wearing blue. What a try. That's a really hilarious move. I like that. That's pretty funny. But for real, the real favorite one. Okay, this is the part I'm gonna have to remove the rest of the book and talk about that one episode. Okay, not just that one episode. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the moment, okay? I'm talking about the section of that one episode that is like the best part of the entire franchise. I know because I've seen the show and Korra, okay? Here we go, I'm talking about it. Iroh's tail. That is the best part of this entire franchise. Okay, I don't want to summarize the whole thing, right? But I'm gonna give you like an analogy for those who don't know about Airbender but know about a specific other very popular thing. Okay, for those who are aware of Aerys's death, future put that image in, okay, so I won't forget later. For those who are familiar with Aerys's death, okay, it is one of the best parts of Final Fantasy VII, if not the franchise, if not of all video games, okay? It is one of those things that is, you know it's coming. For those who have known about Final Fantasy VII, because I know about Final Fantasy VII before starting it, right? I was completely aware of the death happening, okay? So, knowing this will happen, the scene happens. I still cried. Okay, I still cry knowing it's going to happen. Okay, I have seen the actual clip of her dying, but prior to playing Final Fantasy VII, it still happened. I still cried. Same idea. Okay, I know it's happening. I know that final scene of that tale is going to happen. It still gives me the chills. It still gives me chills and still makes me cry. Here's the thing. Technically, that part is filler because we already know everything about what's going to happen, okay? For those who know what's going to happen, it is the if I'm not mistaken, Liu Ten's birthday, okay? So, for the Liu Ten is Iroh's son, who's killed in the battle, while Iroh was, trying to break through Ba Sing Se's walls, and sort of succeeded, but technically fails. You succeeded, but at what cost? And that cost was his son, and so he just left out of there. So. And the thing is, the beginning of that tale, Iroh just being Iroh, just being a kind old man, like he always is. But for the content, once he knows later why he was doing what certain things they did, then you see the picture of his son, and then starts singing the song he was going to begin of the tale, but in a much more somber tone. Oh my god! And what's also oh my god, the absolute final 2 seconds of it. This was the episode in which Iroh's voice actor dies. Because Mako... For those who know who Mako is, if you don't know who Aku from Samurai Jack is, same person. Yeah. Legendary voice actor, okay? Legendary voice actor. So, he died during the making of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And the last few seconds of the tale says, right in this section here, in honor of Mako. It's a tribute to a legendary voice actor. So technically you could say that even if you know what's going to happen next, like I have, that Iroh's kind of like everyone else, everyone's actually watching the show, like myself, and Liu Ten is Mako. That is the real parallel, I guess, here. That is, if you had a chance to watch the series, this is probably the best entry point to the series. This is the part you have to know, okay? Go watch this scene, then go watch the rest of the series, including that scene, and try not to cry. So, best moment of the entire franchise, arguably. Arguably more than the final scene of Korra, where Korra and Asami held hands. That being said, my least favorite moment, I kind of don't have one. Okay? The thing is, there was a cringe moment, but I forgot which episode it is and where is that. There was a little bit of a cringe section in a certain place, but I forgot where it was. Because it's so caustic. I only just like I didn't even like press fast forward. I held on like an earthbender to watch the cringy scene, and it barely lasted a second, so it was a kind of false alarm. That being said, we're going back to the same episode. Okay, I think the closest thing to a cringe moment that I can remember is that. Let's go further down that same episode where the best moment in the entire franchise is. Let's go to Sokka's tale, and Sokka specifically, him trying to be all confident, realized that he had one extra syllable to a haiku, and that got him kicked out of the whole building with the haiku ladies are. I mean, he was good for a good few minutes. He's good. But then he just messed up all of a sudden because he got too confident. I actually, like I say, book 2 is really good. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be an episode on like in book 3. I'm pretty sure. But book 2 is just too good. It's solid, like a rock, like an earthbender. All right, that's it for book 2 of Atla. Now, I'm gonna watch some more Atla. I'm gonna freaking finish the series, then go to Korra, and then do videos on Korra, and then